All right, let's talk about today. It has been an absolutely wild ride in the financial world. Just pure market whiplash.
So let's set the scene. The date is November 21st, 2025. And seriously, the entire market feels like it's holding its breath, just teetering on a knife's edge, trying to figure out which way is up. Let's start with a look at the damage.
Okay, get this. In just one day, $1 trillion. Gone. Wiped right off the US stock market. I mean, that's a number so big it's hard to even wrap your head around it. And the pain? It is not just in stocks.
At the very same time, you look over at the crypto world and bam, another $120 billion just vanished from the market cap. It is a sea of red everywhere you look, from your classic stocks to the newest digital coins. And that chaos really sets the stage for our first deep dive.
So let's start in the world of crypto, because what's happening there is, well, it's a total paradox. On the surface, it looks like absolute panic.
You've got Bitcoin, the big one, tumbling below that crucial $87,000 mark. And you know, a sharp drop like that, that's what really scares people. It shakes out the everyday investors and just pours fuel on the fire of fear.
And that fear isn't just a feeling, it has real hard consequences. We're talking over $325 million liquidated in just the last few hours. You know, these are traders who borrowed money to bet on rising prices, and they just got completely wiped out. It's a chain reaction just pushing prices down even further. But here's the twist. While all that panic is happening on the surface, there's a completely different story playing out underneath.
So while regular folks are hitting the sell button, the big institutions, they're doing the complete opposite. You've got BlackRock, the biggest asset manager on the planet, digging deeper into crypto with a new Ethereum Trust. You've got a massive state fund from the UAE tripling its investment in a Bitcoin ETF. The exchange Kraken is filing to go public. And to top it all off, there's a new bill in Congress to let people pay their federal taxes in Bitcoin. See what I mean? It's this total disconnect between the short-term panic and this really strong long-term institutional belief.
Okay, so who's behind all this chatter? This brings us to the big players, the titans of finance, the tech giants, and the politicians whose words are really stirring the pot. So on one side of the ring, you've got the old guard. Think Peter Schiff. He's not mincing words. He just comes right out and says it. Bitcoin has no future. A total, complete dismissal of the whole thing. But then, in the other corner, you have another legend, billionaire investor Ray Dalio. And what does he say? He reveals he's got 1% of his entire massive portfolio in Bitcoin. Now, he's not waving a flag for it, but he's not dismissing it either. For him, it's just smart diversification.
And that's the key right there. You see this massive split at the very top of the financial world. There is zero consensus among these investing giants, and that just adds a whole new layer of confusion to the market. And, you know, while they're all debating, the tech world is on a totally different planet.
I mean, seriously, in the middle of all this financial chaos, you look at big tech and it's like they're unstoppable. Nvidia just drops a $57 billion revenue number, crushing expectations. Google stock? Oh, it just hit a new all-time high. It really feels like this entire sector is just operating in a different universe.
And the vision coming from these tech leaders, it's just huge. You have Elon Musk out there today, and he's not just talking about cool gadgets. He's saying AI and humanoid robots are going to eliminate poverty and make everyone wealthy. I mean, that is some serious techno-optimism, and it's such a stark contrast to the fear that's gripping Wall Street. And then, bam, this is where tech and politics collide. Right in the middle of all this, you have President Trump turning to Elon Musk and saying, "You are so lucky, I'm with you." A comment like that, it ties the future of these huge tech companies directly to the highest levels of power.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, because underneath all these headlines about stocks and crypto and tech, there's this massive macroeconomic tug-of-war going on. And really, it all boils down to one single question. What is the Federal Reserve going to do next?
And the advice the Fed is getting? It's all over the place. On one hand, you have a White House advisor looking at the data and saying, yep, it's time to cut interest rates. But then Morgan Stanley, a huge investment bank, just did a complete 180 and said, nope, we don't think a rate cut's coming anymore. So you've already got the experts disagreeing, and then you layer on direct political pressure. President Trump has made it crystal clear he thinks interest rates are too high. He's putting his opinion right out there in the middle of the debate.
And as if the Fed's job wasn't hard enough, the latest jobs report just landed, and it came in hotter than anyone expected. The U.S. economy added 119,000 jobs. Now, usually, a strong job market means the Fed is less likely to cut rates. So you see, even the hard data is sending mixed messages.
All right, so let's recap. We've got market panic, but we've also got huge institutions buying in. We have billionaires who can't agree, and this massive puzzle over what the Fed is going to do. So in our final section, let's try to make some sense of all this noise.
So after all that, what's the real story today? On November 21st, 2025, what is actually going on? When you put all these contradictory pieces together, what does it even mean?
Yeah, this really sums it up perfectly. Look at this. In the bearish column, you've got this massive market crash, traders getting wiped out, and powerful people predicting doom and gloom. But then you look at the bullish column, and you see these giant institutions buying up assets, the tech sector's on fire, the economy is creating jobs, and there are calls to make money cheaper. It's like the market is being pulled in two completely opposite directions at the exact same time.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, or maybe today the trillion-dollar question. For anyone trying to make sense of a day like today, when every single signal seems to be canceled out by another one, when the smartest people you can find are saying completely opposite things, and when the short-term panic is clashing head-on with these long-term trends, how do you even begin to find the truth? That's the puzzle of November 21st. Thanks for joining me.